All right, so you're prepping for an industrial quality manager interview. And let's be honest, the thought of all those potential questions can be a bit overwhelming.
Definitely can be a lot to think about.
But don't sweat it. We've got this incredible stack of resources from RoleCatcher. Think career guides, interview guides, even some really cool AI tools
Oh, yeah, those AI tools are awesome.
to help you absolutely nail
Yeah,
it.
it's like having a whole team of career coaches in your back pocket, ready to help you prep for those tricky questions and really shine in that interview.
Exactly. Think of this deep dive as your secret weapon to not just survive the interview, but to truly stand out as the ideal candidate. We're going to tackle those common questions head on, give you some insider strategies to approach them, and even sprinkle in some career insights from RoleCatcher's guide
Love that guide.
to help you really understand what hiring managers are looking for.
Yeah, we'll break down those questions, give you a framework for crafting your answers, and even explore potential follow-up questions they might throw your way.
Okay, so let's jump right in with a question that often pops up early in the interview. What motivated you to pursue a career in industrial quality management?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one might seem straightforward, but it's more than just saying, I like problem solving. It's your chance to show genuine passion and tell your story.
It really is. Hiring managers can spot a canned response a mile away. What they're really looking for is that spark, that genuine enthusiasm that makes you pick. Think about what truly drew you to this field. Was it a mentor who inspired you? A specific project that got you hooked? Or maybe a fascination with process improvement and the impact it can have?
Yeah, and don't be afraid to get a little personal here. Share a brief anecdote or a specific moment that solidified your interest. Make it memorable. Now, here's a possible follow-up question they might ask. What are you most looking forward to in this role?
Ah, that's where you connect your personal motivations to the specific company and role you're interviewing for. It shows you've done your homework and you're genuinely interested in what they do.
Exactly. It's all about showing them you're not just looking for any job in quality management. You're specifically interested in this opportunity. Okay, moving on to a question that's all about showcasing your expertise. What experience do you have in implementing quality management systems? Hi. Now, you could simply rattle off a list of certifications, but let's be honest, that's a bit dry, right?
Totally. Instead of just telling them, try showing them what you can do. Describe a specific system you implemented, maybe even the challenges you faced, and most importantly, the positive outcomes you achieved. Did you reduce defect rates, improve efficiency, quantify those accomplishments whenever possible? Numbers are your best friend here.
That's a great point. Those tangible results really paint a picture of your capabilities. And be prepared for a follow-up question like, tell me about a time you had to adapt a quality management system to a unique situation.
Absolutely. That's where you can really demonstrate your flexibility and problem-solving skills. Every company has its own unique needs and challenges, so showing them you can adapt and tailor your approach is super valuable.
For sure. Okay, now let's dive into a question that's all about the nuts and bolts of quality. How do you ensure that products meet quality standards? Now, this is where your knowledge of specific tools and techniques really shines. Don't just name-drop methodologies like Six Sigma or lean manufacturing. Bring them to life with concrete examples.
For sure. Maybe you could say something like, in my previous role, we were facing a high defect rate on a particular product line. I used Six Sigma's DMAIC methodology, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control, to identify the root cause of the issue and implement a solution that reduced defects by 15%, saving the company thousands of dollars.
Ooh, that's a fantastic example.
Sure.
You're not just saying, Six Sigma. You're showing them how you've applied it to achieve real results.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the tools themselves. It's about your analytical skills,
Yeah.
your ability to gather and interpret data, and your problem-solving process.
Absolutely. If you can walk them through a specific example of how you've used data analysis to identify and resolve a quality issue, that's gold.
Now for a question that's all about handling those inevitable curveballs. How do you handle quality issues that arise during production?
Mm-hmm.
Because, let's face it, things don't always go according to plan in the real world.
Right. What they want to see here is your ability to stay calm under pressure, think critically, and take a systematic approach to problem solving. You can briefly outline your step-by-step process, highlighting your ability to collaborate with production teams, gather data, and use root cause analysis to find the source of the problem.
And don't be surprised if they follow up with a question like, tell me about a time a quality issue escalated and how you resolved it.
Mhm.
They're looking for evidence of your leadership skills, your decision-making abilities, and how you handle those high-pressure situations.
That's right. They want to see that you can not only identify problems, but that you can lead the charge to find a solution and prevent them from happening again.
Now, while we're on the topic of nailing those interview questions, let's talk about how RoleCatcher's AI tools can give you a serious edge in your prep. Have you ever wished you had a virtual coach to help you fine-tune your answers and really make them stand out?
It's a game changer.
It is. You upload your CV, and their AI analyzes it, comparing it to the specific job description you're applying for. You can actually score your CV against the job requirements and highlight any areas where you might need to strengthen your presentation.
Yeah, it's like having a personalized roadmap to interview success. But it gets even better. Let's say you're struggling to articulate your experience with a specific quality management system. RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you craft a compelling response tailored to the specific job you're applying for. It can even provide feedback on your delivery, helping you refine your tone clarity and confidence.
Wow, it's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket, helping you present yourself in the best possible light. And it's not just about acing the interview questions. RoleCatcher's AI can also help you gain a deeper understanding of your own career trajectory.
Yeah, their career guide provides some really insightful information about the typical path for an industrial quality manager. Knowing where you fit in the bigger picture can help you articulate your career goals and aspirations, which is a key factor in demonstrating your ambition and potential.
Because, let's be honest, they're not just hiring you for today. They're looking for someone who can grow with the company and contribute to their long-term success. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you aspire to lead a team, manage larger projects, specialize in a particular area of quality management?
Having a clear vision for your future makes you a much more desirable candidate. It shows them you're not just looking for a job, you're looking to build a career.
And speaking of building a career, let's talk about a tool that can really help you stand out from the competition. Your portfolio.
Oh yes, portfolios are huge.
This is something that RoleCatcher really emphasizes.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic way to showcase your accomplishments beyond just listing them on your resume.
Absolutely. Imagine bringing to the interview a collection of your most successful audits, process improvement initiatives, or any project where you really made a difference.
It could be a website, a presentation, even just a well-organized folder of case studies. The point is to show them tangible evidence of your skills and experience, and to let your work speak for itself.
That kind of initiative really sets you apart. It shows them you're passionate about your work and that you're constantly striving to improve.
Okay, let's dive into a few more of those common interview questions. Because as they say, practice makes perfect. The more comfortable you are talking about your experience and your approach to quality management, the more confident you'll feel walking into that interview. Next question. How do you ensure that quality standards are maintained over time? This one's all about your leadership style, your ability to build a strong quality culture, and your commitment to continuous improvement.
Yeah, it's not enough to just set standards. You need to create an environment where quality is everyone's responsibility, where people are empowered to identify and address issues, and where continuous improvement is woven into the fabric of the organization.
So how do you foster that kind of culture? Maybe you could talk about how you hold regular team meetings to discuss quality goals, how you provide ongoing training and development opportunities to keep everyone's skills sharp, or how you celebrate successes and recognize individuals who go above and beyond.
And be ready to give specific examples of how you've motivated your team to maintain high standards, even when deadlines are tight or resources are limited.
This is a great opportunity to show them you're not just a quality expert, you're a leader who can inspire and guide others to achieve excellence. Now let's tackle a question that's all about measurement and analysis. How do you measure the effectiveness of your quality management system? Okay. Data is king in the world of quality management, so be prepared to talk about the specific metrics you use to track progress.
Think defect rates, customer satisfaction scores, audit findings, cycle times, anything that can help you assess the overall health of the system. But don't just throw numbers at them. Explain why you chose those particular metrics and what they tell you about the system's performance.
Exactly. And here's the key. Connect those metrics to tangible outcomes. Did reducing the defect rate lead to increased customer satisfaction? Did streamlining a process result in cost savings? Show them that you understand the big picture and how quality management impacts the bottom line.
Yeah, it's all about demonstrating that you're not just tracking data for data's sake. You're using it to drive real improvements and achieve meaningful results.
Okay, let's tackle another question that focuses on your people skills. How do you ensure that employees are trained on quality standards and procedures? Training is absolutely essential for maintaining a strong quality culture. So walk them through your approach. Do you develop customized training programs tailored to specific roles? Do you use a blend of online learning, in-person workshops, and on-the-job coaching?
It's important to demonstrate that you understand the different learning styles and that you're committed to providing engaging and effective training that meets the needs of your team. And don't forget to mention how you measure the effectiveness of your training programs. Do you track employee performance? Do you conduct regular assessments or quizzes to gauge understanding?
Show them that you're not just throwing training at people and hoping for the best. You're actively monitoring progress and making adjustments as needed to ensure that everyone is equipped to meet those quality standards. Okay, here's a question that highlights your ability to manage external relationships. How do you ensure that suppliers meet your quality standards? This is all about supplier quality management. And it's a critical part of any successful quality program. After all, even the best internal processes can be undermined if your suppliers aren't delivering high-quality materials or components.
Absolutely. So walk them through your approach. Do you have a formal supplier qualification process? Do you conduct regular supplier audits to assess their performance and compliance?
Do you work collaboratively with suppliers to help them improve their processes and address any quality issues that arise? The key is to show them that you're proactive, that you don't just react to problems, you anticipate them and take steps to prevent them. And remember, it's not about being adversarial. It's about building strong collaborative relationships with suppliers based on mutual trust and a shared commitment to quality.
Exactly. A strong supplier relationship can be a real asset to your quality management program.
Okay, last question for this section. How do you ensure that your quality management system is compliant with industry standards and regulations? This one's all about your knowledge of the regulatory landscape and your ability to stay ahead of the curve.
So start by highlighting your understanding of the relevant industry standards, whether it's ISO 9001, AS 9100, or any other standard that applies to your field. Then explain how you stay up to date with changes in regulations. Do you subscribe to industry publications? Do you attend conferences or webinars? Do you participate in professional organizations?
Show them that you're not just aware of the current requirements. You're actively monitoring the horizon for upcoming changes and preparing your organization to meet them. And if you have any experience working directly with regulatory agencies, definitely mention that as well. It demonstrates your ability to navigate complex compliance challenges. So you've walked them through your approach to ensuring compliance. But don't stop there. Take it a step further and talk about how you embed compliance into the very fabric of your quality management system.
Do you have clear policies and procedures in place? Do you conduct regular internal audits to verify compliance? Do you have a robust document control system? Show them that compliance isn't just a box to be checked, it's an integral part of how you operate.
And that wraps up our deep dive into some of the most common industrial quality manager interview questions. We've covered a lot of ground, but remember, this is just the beginning of your interview prep journey. RoleCatcher offers a wealth of resources to help you prepare for every stage of the interview process.
So don't just listen to this deep dive and call it a day. Explore their career guides, dive into their interview question database, and let their AI tools help you refine your answers and boost your confidence. Because the more prepared you are, the better you'll perform when it matters most.
Now, before we wrap up part one of this deep dive, let's take a quick look at some of the core skills and knowledge that are essential for success as an industrial quality manager.
Sounds good. According to RoleCatcher's Career Guide, monitoring is absolutely paramount.
Which makes sense, right? You
Yeah.
need to be able to assess performance, identify areas for improvement, and take corrective action when necessary.
Yep. And active learning is another key skill. The field of quality management is constantly evolving, so you need to be able to adapt to new information and apply it to your work.
And active listening is crucial as well. You'll be interacting with a wide range of stakeholders, from production teams to suppliers to customers, and you need to be able to truly understand their perspectives.
Then there's complex problem solving. As an industrial quality manager, you're going to encounter challenges that require you to think critically, gather information, and develop creative solutions.
And of course, critical thinking goes hand in hand with problem solving. You need to be able to analyze situations, identify root causes, and make sound judgments based on the available information.
Judgment and decision-making are essential as well. You'll often be faced with difficult choices, and you need to be able to weigh the options and make the best decision for the organization.
And let's not forget about quality control analysis. You'll be responsible for conducting tests, inspections, and audits to ensure that products meet the required standards.
And you'll need strong reading comprehension skills to understand technical documents, industry standards, and regulatory guidelines.
And of course, effective communication is essential, both written and verbal. You'll be communicating with people at all levels of the organization, so you need to be able to convey information clearly and concisely.
Absolutely. And finally, let's touch on some of the key knowledge areas that are important for an industrial quality manager.
RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of a strong foundation in education and training principles.
You'll be responsible for developing and delivering training programs, so you need to understand how people learn best.
You'll also need a solid understanding of production and processing, including raw materials, manufacturing techniques, and quality control methods.
And a basic knowledge of chemistry is helpful, especially if you're working in industries that involve chemical processes.
Native language proficiency is a given, of course. You need to be able to communicate effectively in both written and spoken English.
Customer and personal service knowledge is important as well, because you'll often be interacting with customers and addressing their concerns.
A good grasp of administration and management principles is essential, as you'll be managing budgets, resources, and teams.
And a solid foundation in mathematics is crucial for analyzing data, calculating metrics, and making informed decisions.
Knowledge of engineering and technology is helpful, as you'll be working in industrial environments.
And a basic understanding of computers and electronics is beneficial, as technology plays an increasingly important role in quality management. You'll also need some familiarity with public safety and security procedures to ensure a safe working environment.
And finally, a solid understanding of personnel and human resources practices is essential for managing your team effectively.
So there you have it. A quick overview of the core skills and knowledge that will set you up for success as an industrial quality manager. And remember, RoleCatcher provides in-depth guides for each of these skills and knowledge areas. So be sure to check those out to deepen your understanding.
That's right. They even have specific interview guides for each skill, so you can practice answering questions related to those areas. And don't forget about their AI tools. They can help you tailor your answers and receive personalized feedback, so you can go into that interview feeling confident and prepared. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll delve into even more insightful tips and strategies to help you ace that interview.
Welcome back to our deep dive into industrial quality manager interview prep.
We're picking up right where we left off, with even more tips and strategies to help you really nail that interview.
In the last part, we talked about showcasing your experience using RoleCatcher's AI tools and highlighting those core skills and knowledge areas.
Now let's dive into some specific examples of how to answer those common interview questions, using the insights we've gathered from RoleCatcher.
Sounds good. Let's start with that classic question. What motivated you to pursue a career in industrial quality management?
Remember, this is your chance to let that passion shine through.
Don't just say, I like problem solving. Dig a little deeper. Give them a glimpse into what truly sparked your interest.
Maybe you could say something like, I've always been fascinated by the idea of creating systems that ensure consistency and excellence. In college, I took a course on lean manufacturing and I was hooked. I love the idea of eliminating waste and optimizing processes to create real value.
That's a great example. You're showing them you have a genuine interest in the field and that you've taken the initiative to learn about it.
And if you had a specific experience that really solidified your interest, definitely share that. It could be a project, an internship, or even a mentor who inspired you.
Absolutely. A personal touch can make your answer much more memorable, maybe you could say. During an internship at a manufacturing plant, I saw firsthand the impact a quality issue could have on production and even customer relationships. It made me realize that I wanted to be part of the solution, to help companies build robust quality systems that prevent those kinds of problems.
Now let's move on to a question that's all about showcasing your technical expertise. What experience do you have in implementing quality management systems?
This is where you really want to highlight specific projects and accomplishments.
Don't just say, I'm familiar with ISO 901. Give them a concrete example of how you've actually applied that knowledge in a real-world setting.
Right. Maybe you could say. In my previous role, I was responsible for implementing an ISO 9001 compliant quality management system. I started by conducting a gap analysis to identify areas where our processes didn't align with the standard. Then I worked with cross-functional teams to develop and implement new procedures, documentation, and training programs. We successfully achieved certification within 6 months, and we saw significant improvements in our overall efficiency and customer satisfaction.
That's a fantastic example. You're showcasing your knowledge of the standard, your ability to lead a project, and the positive outcomes you achieved.
And remember, quantify your results whenever possible. Did you reduce defects by a certain percentage? Improve cycle times. Those numbers add weight to your story.
Now let's tackle a question that tests your problem-solving skills.
Hmm.
How do you handle quality issues that arise during production?
This is where you demonstrate your ability to stay calm under pressure. Think critically and lead a team to find a solution.
It's all about having a clear process and demonstrating effective communication.
Exactly. Maybe you could say, when a quality issue arises, my first step is always to gather as much information as possible. I want to understand the nature of the problem, the potential impact, and any relevant data that can help us pinpoint the root cause. Then I assemble a cross-functional team, including representatives from production engineering and quality, to brainstorm potential solutions. We analyze the data, conduct root cause analysis, and develop a plan of action. I make sure to communicate regularly with all stakeholders, keeping them informed of our progress and any decisions that need to be made.
That's a great example. You're showing them that you have a systematic approach, that you value collaboration, and that you're a strong communicator.
And if you have a specific example of a challenging quality issue that you successfully resolved, definitely share that story. It brings your answer to life and helps them see you in action.
Now let's take a quick detour and revisit a tool that can give you a significant advantage in your interview prep. RoleCatcher's AI.
We touched on this briefly before, but it's worth diving a little deeper.
Because these AI tools can seriously level up your interview game.
Imagine this. You've uploaded your CV to RoleCatcher, and you're looking at a specific job description. Their AI analyzes both your CV and the job description, and it tells you exactly how well your skills and experience align with the requirements.
It's like having a personal career coach who knows exactly what the hiring manager is looking for.
But it gets even better. Let's say you're struggling to answer a particular interview question.
RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you craft a strong response tailored to the specific job you're applying for. It can even analyze your answer and give you feedback on your delivery, helping you improve your tone, clarity, and confidence.
Talk about a game changer. It's like having a secret weapon in your back pocket.
And it's not just about answering questions. RoleCatcher's AI can also help you identify potential career paths and explore different industries based on your skills and experience.
It's like having a personal career navigator guiding you towards opportunities that align with your interests and ambitions.
So if you're serious about landing that industrial quality manager job, I highly recommend checking out RoleCatcher's AI tools.
They can give you the edge you need to stand out from the competition. Now let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay, let's talk about a question that often trips people up.
Yeah.
How do you ensure that quality standards are maintained over time? This is where you demonstrate your leadership skills and your commitment to continuous improvement.
Yeah, it's not enough to just set standards and walk away. You need to create a culture where quality is everyone's responsibility.
So how do you do that? Maybe you could say something like, I believe that a strong quality culture starts with clear communication and shared ownership. I make sure that everyone on the team understands the quality standards, why they're important, and how their work contributes to achieving those standards. I encourage open communication and feedback. And I empower team members to identify areas for improvement. We celebrate successes, learn from our mistakes, and constantly strive to raise the bar.
That's a great example. You're showing them that you're not just a quality expert. You're a leader who can inspire and motivate others to achieve excellence.
And you can even tie this back to your own personal commitment to continuous learning. Emphasize that you're always looking for ways to improve your own skills and knowledge.
Absolutely. Staying current in the field of quality management is crucial.
Now let's tackle a question that's all about measurement and analysis. How do you measure the effectiveness of your quality management system?
This is where you showcase your understanding of quality metrics and your ability to use data to drive improvement.
Don't just rattle off a list of metrics. Explain why you chose those particular metrics and what they tell you about the system's performance.
Right. Maybe you could say. I use a variety of metrics to measure the effectiveness of our quality management system, including defect rates, customer satisfaction scores, and audit findings. I track these metrics over time to identify trends and areas where we need to focus our improvement efforts. For example, if we see an increase in defect rates for a particular product, I'll conduct a root cause analysis to identify the underlying issue and develop a plan to address it. I also use these metrics to communicate our progress to senior management and to demonstrate the value of our quality management system.
That's a great example. You're showing them that you understand the importance of data-driven decision-making, and that you can use metrics to track progress, identify problems, and drive continuous improvement.
And don't forget to connect those metrics to tangible business outcomes. Did reducing the defect rate lead to increased customer satisfaction? Did streamlining a process result in cost savings?
That's right. Show them that you're not just focused on the numbers themselves. You understand how they relate to the bigger picture and the overall success of the organization.
Now let's talk about a question that's all about your people skills. How do you ensure that employees are trained on quality standards and procedures?
Training is crucial for building a strong quality culture. So this is a great opportunity to showcase your approach.
Don't just say, I provide training. Explain how you assess training needs, develop engaging training programs, and measure the effectiveness of your training.
Right, maybe you could say. I believe that effective training is essential for empowering employees to consistently deliver high-quality work. I start by assessing training needs through observations, performance reviews, and feedback from team members. Then I develop training programs that are tailored to specific roles and responsibilities. I use a variety of methods, including online learning, in-person workshops, and on-the-job coaching to ensure that the training is engaging and effective. I also track employee performance and conduct regular assessments to measure the impact of the training and identify areas where we can improve.
That's a great example. You're demonstrating that you understand the importance of needs assessment, tailored training programs, and ongoing evaluation.
And you can really highlight your commitment to creating a learning culture within the organization.
Absolutely. Investing in employee training and development is essential for long-term success.
Now let's tackle a question that highlights your ability to manage external relationships. How do you ensure that suppliers meet your quality standards?
This is all about supplier quality management, and it's a critical part of any successful quality program.
You need to show them that you're proactive, that you build strong relationships with suppliers, and that you have a process for addressing quality issues.
Absolutely, maybe you could say. I believe that strong supplier relationships are essential for maintaining a consistent level of quality. I start by carefully selecting suppliers who have a proven track record of quality and reliability. We have a formal supplier qualification process that includes site visits, audits, and a review of their quality management system. We work collaboratively with our suppliers to ensure that they understand our quality standards and to help them improve their processes. We also conduct regular supplier audits to monitor their performance and to identify any potential issues. If a quality problem does arise, we work closely with the supplier to find a solution and to prevent the problem from recurring.
That's a great example. You're demonstrating that you understand the importance of supplier selection, ongoing communication, and proactive problem solving.
And you're highlighting the value of collaboration and partnership in supplier relationships.
Okay, let's wrap up this section with a question that tests your knowledge of compliance. How do you ensure that your quality management system is compliant with industry standards and regulations?
This is where you showcase your understanding of the regulatory landscape and your ability to stay ahead of the curve.
It's not enough to just be aware of the requirements. You need to show them that you actively monitor changes, implement robust systems, and foster a culture of compliance.
Right, maybe you could say, I take compliance very seriously. I stay up to date on industry standards and regulations through subscriptions to industry publications, participation in professional organizations, and attendance at conferences. I have a deep understanding of ISO 9001 and other relevant standards, and I ensure that our quality management system is fully compliant. We have clear policies and procedures in place, and we conduct regular internal audits to verify compliance. I also make sure that all employees are trained on compliance requirements, and that they understand the importance of following those requirements.
That's a great example. You're demonstrating your knowledge, your proactive approach, and your commitment to creating a culture of compliance.
And you can even mention any specific experience you have with regulatory audits or certifications.
Right. Those real-world examples add credibility to your answer.
So we've covered quite a few common interview questions and provided some examples of how to approach them.
But remember, these are just examples. You'll need to tailor your answers to your own unique experience and the specific job you're applying for.
That's where RoleCatcher's AI tools can really come in handy. They can help you refine your answers and make sure they're aligned with the specific requirements of the role.
Absolutely. They can analyze your responses, provide personalized feedback, and even suggest alternative phrasing or content to make your answers even stronger.
It's like having a personal interview coach guiding you every step of the way.
Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about career insights. RoleCatcher's Career Guide provides a fantastic overview of the typical career path for an industrial quality manager.
Understanding the different stages of this career path can help you articulate your own goals and aspirations.
Exactly. At the entry level, you might start as an industrial quality technician, focusing on routine inspections, data collection, and assisting with quality control activities.
As you gain experience, you might move into a junior industrial quality engineer role, where you'll have more responsibility for developing and implementing quality control plans and procedures.
And with further experience, you could become a senior industrial quality specialist, leading quality control activities, managing teams, and driving continuous improvement initiatives.
And ultimately, you might aspire to become a quality assurance manager, responsible for the overall quality management system and strategy for the entire organization.
Each stage of this career path comes with its own unique set of challenges and rewards.
And knowing where you want to go can help you make informed decisions about your career progression.
Now, speaking of showcasing your accomplishments, let's revisit that portfolio idea we touched on earlier.
It's a powerful tool that can really help you stand out from the competition.
Imagine bringing to the interview a collection of case studies that highlight your most successful audits, process improvement initiatives, or any project where you made a significant contribution to quality.
It could be a website, a presentation, or even just a well-organized folder of documents.
The point is to show them tangible evidence of your skills and accomplishments.
And don't be afraid to get creative. Maybe you could create a visual representation of a process improvement you implemented or a graph showing how you reduced defect rates.
The key is to make it engaging and informative and to tailor it to the specific job you're applying for.
And RoleCatcher provides some great tips on how to structure your portfolio and what kind of content to include.
Okay, let's move on to the next section of our deep dive, where we'll explore some additional tips for preparing for your industrial quality manager interview.
Sounds good. We've covered a lot of ground so far, but there's always more to learn.
We'll discuss how to research the company, prepare for behavioral interview questions, and make a lasting impression.
Stay tuned!
Welcome back to the final part of our Industrial Quality Manager Interview Prep Deep Dive.
We've covered a lot of ground, from those tricky interview questions to showcasing your expertise and using AI to your advantage.
Now let's shift gears and talk about some crucial pre-interview steps that can make all the difference.
First up, research. It might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people walk into an interview knowing next to nothing about the company.
It's like showing up to a first date without even checking out their profile picture, right?
Yeah.
You got to do your homework.
Exactly. Go beyond just glancing at their website. Dive into their recent news announcements, their mission statement, maybe even check out their social media presence.
What's fascinating is that you can often glean insights into their current challenges and priorities just by spending a little time exploring their online presence.
And that allows you to connect your skills and experience directly to their needs.
It's like saying, hey, I see what you're working on, and I've got the skills and experience to help you achieve your goals.
Now let's talk about a type of interview question that can really throw people off guard. Behavioral interview questions. You know, the ones that start with, tell me about a time when.
Yes, those can be tricky. They're not just asking about your knowledge. They want to hear about how you've actually applied those skills in real-life situations.
The key is to have a few stories ready to go that demonstrate your key skills and qualities. Think about times when you had to solve a complex problem, work effectively under pressure, or navigate a conflict.
And structure your answer using the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. It's a simple framework that helps you keep your answer concise and focused.
It also ensures that you highlight the specific actions you took and the positive outcomes you achieved.
Okay, so you've researched the company. You've prepped for those behavioral questions. You're feeling confident. But here's one more thing that can really set you apart.
Asking thoughtful questions. It shows you're engaged, curious, and genuinely interested in the opportunity.
Avoid generic questions like, what's the company culture like? Instead, ask something specific that you genuinely want to know, something that demonstrates you've done your research.
Maybe something like, I read about your recent initiative to implement sustainable manufacturing practices. Could you tell me more about the goals and progress of that initiative?
Or, what are some of the biggest challenges facing the quality management team in the next year?
Questions like that show you've been paying attention and that you're already thinking about how you can contribute.
And one last tip before we wrap things up. Don't forget to follow up after the interview.
A simple thank you email goes a long way. It reiterates your interest and keeps you top of mind.
And you can even use it to highlight something specific you discussed that resonated with you.
It's a small gesture that can make a big difference.
So what does this all mean for you? You've got the knowledge, the resources, and the strategies to not just survive that industrial quality manager interview, but to absolutely crush it.
Walk in there with confidence, showcase your expertise, and remember, you've got this.
And as you continue your career journey, remember that learning doesn't stop after the interview.
That's right. The field of quality management is constantly evolving, so stay curious, embrace continuous improvement, and keep those skills sharp.
And RoleCatcher is there every step of the way with resources to help you navigate each stage of your career.
Good luck. You've got this.